Mayweather. And Freddie in trouble as Mayweather pounds away.
Believe me, this guy is something special.
There is your fighter of the year for '98, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I couldn't believe I was world champion. I dropped to my knees and just gave thanks to God because he made my dream come true.
Boxing has always run deep in the Mayweather family bloodline. His uncle, former junior welterweight champion Roger, and his father, one-time welterweight contender Floyd Sr., indoctrinated little Floyd into the family business at an early age.
He lived in the gym. He's been in the gym all his life. So I knew my son was going to be a champ pretty much since he's been born. He's been fighting since he's been born.
While his training and upbringing have prepared Floyd for what to expect inside the ring, it's what's happened outside the ring that wouldn't have been predicted. The once rock-solid father-son foundation that brought the fighter to stardom in 1998 soon developed a crack, and the relationship disintegrated just 1 year later.
Me and my dad came to an agreement that he was going to move on and train some other fighters, and I said that I was going to move on and work back with my uncle because I felt a lot more comfortable.
I want to get it straight before he left. People be telling him, oh, your dad is too strict, your dad too this, your dad too that. Why do you think he got to be pound for pound best in the world? Somebody taught him how to do that, and that somebody was me.
Beforehand, it was just like I was in like a boot camp. Just nothing but boxing, go to the room. Now I feel a lot more comfortable because I get a chance to, even though I'm training, I get a chance to still live my life.
When he out the ring, that's his business. When he come here, then I'm controlling him. I'm controlling what he do, what he should do, or how he should do, and how he should make this approach, and what makes the fight easier for him.
With Uncle Roger now in his corner, the emphasis is no longer on the defensive skills stressed by Floyd Sr. These days, little Floyd has a much more aggressive approach.
Mayweather more active than we normally see him, but he's probably out to put on a show.
Well, without offense, you can't win the fight. Either I beat the opponent by unanimous decision, or I slowly break my opponent down and stop him.
It ain't about being aggressive right now. He got to fight a smart defensive fight. You don't win fights being defensive. You win fight by punches landed. Ali was defensive. He still had the second highest knockout ratio in heavyweight history.
After an 8-month layoff, Floyd Jr. defeated Emmanuel Burton in his first bout since parting ways with his father. But this fight took a heavy toll on the face of the pretty boy.
What would you have liked to see Floyd do? Would you like to see him fight like he fought Jorge Rogers? Or would you like to see what you just seen? I think what the fans like about little Floyd is how he is now.
It was an exciting fight, and that's what the fans and the people want. But the main thing is Floyd Mayweather still won the fight.
They finally got a chance to see Pretty Boy bleed profusely from the nose. Tell me, out of the 10 or 11 fights he fought with his father, where was any blood? Where was any knots? He needed some defense that night.
While young Mayweather's strategy may be questioned, he's banking on his new, more entertaining brand of boxing to change his identity in the eyes of fight fans.
When I go into this fight, I know I'm going to be feeling good. I'm going to go out there and put on a superb show and show him that, you know, flamboyant Floyd ain't going nowhere. I'm still flashy. I'm still doing my thing.
All right, George, the difference in philosophies could not be more graphically presented. And now, trained by Uncle Roger, the offense advocate, Floyd gets ready to face a big puncher in Diego Corrales. Would that be the right style for him to choose tonight?
You know, both father and uncle are profound in their teaching. So you can believe they made an impact on this guy's amateur and professional career. So he's probably a student of both doctrine. And so I think we're going to see it all. But it's all inside of him now. They don't need to talk to him much these days.
And the fact is he's skilled enough to do either.
He's got it all because they put it into him. They've done an excellent job.
Brilliantly trained young fighter. Meanwhile, Larry Merchant, there's tremendous bad blood between these two guys, and they have publicly expressed it over and over going into the fight. What's the source of all the bad feeling?
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a brilliant young lion who put thorns into his own paws. While he was sorting out all of his problems outside of the ring, fighting only once in a little bit more than a year, Corrales filled that space with some rousing KOs. Mayweather came back, found that his popularity and his prestige had declined, and suddenly he decided that he was no longer going to be the pretty boy Floyd. He was going to be a snarling Floyd. He was going to be Eminem rather than Britney. He was going to win with and attract people with controversy, and he admits this openly. So he says he's going to win this fight for all the battered women out there, and Corrales is countered by saying he'll win the fight for all the battered fathers out there. This is as bad blood gets in our blood sport, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Blood is good. Blood is emotion. Blood is a story, a drama. Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion. What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
This from the man who did a story on cockfighting for HBO's Real Sports. Well, it's hard to imagine any fighter going into his biggest fight with bigger distractions than Diego Corrales, who fights tonight to try to rise to the top of the boxing world. 12 days from now, goes into court to face charges that he beat up his pregnant wife, and eventually the baby will be born. But here he is.
The process of losing weight is pretty strenuous. It's an all-day job. Starting off around 7 in the morning, you got your physical endurance or weight training, depending on what day it is.
After having trouble making the 130-pound weight limit in 3 previous fights, Diego Corrales was prepared to move up to 135. But he left the 130-pound door open for just one fight.
Anytime, I'm ready and willing. Junior lightweight, I don't care.
After the Manfredi fight, when they brought it up, he just said, I'll fight him 130, 135, wherever, anytime, any place, anywhere. And Mayweather thought that it was to his advantage to take advantage of that and say, okay, I'll fight you at 130.
Nutritionist Alex Ariza has been brought into Corrales' camp to help make the transition back to 130. But still, Corrales' body can be less than cooperative.
Diego's 6'1", and he's 23 years old. So his body's ready to grow into that. And for this fight, it's becoming a little bit more difficult. So we really have to watch him daily and be real meticulous with his nutrition.
It's not that bad. You just have to monitor what you're doing. Yeah, it's professional. I think all fighters have to go through this.
Unfortunately for Corrales, he's also experiencing another syndrome common to boxers' lives: trouble with the law. On February 1, just 2 weeks after the Mayweather fight, Corrales is scheduled in court to face charges that he beat up his pregnant wife.
Judge me on what you see, not on what you hear and what you read, only what you've seen in me. You can't judge me off what you hear and what you read, because not everything you read is a fact.
With the trial date looming ahead of him, Corrales has focused even more of his energies inside the ring.
The ring has been a good place for me, because you get a chance to work through all your frustrations, all things that eat at you.
Corrales has shown his focus between the ropes while destroying everyone who has come between him and Mayweather.
Are you watching Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
I've been waiting for about 5 years since Floyd came out of the Olympic Games. Since then, he's had nothing but bad things to say about me, and I've been waiting for quite a while to get my chance to stop all this noise and to shut it off.